It was pretty good.
A few people laughed on their end. Did the guy ever come back on? Because when I hung up,
Jeff.
I got off. I thought that was a good line.
The men's basketball team hosts Iowa tomorrow at 8 p.m., then plays at Michigan on Saturday at 6. Both games will be televised by ESPN. Head coach Bo Ryan is here. We'll take questions.
Bo, when did you first hear that Bronson could be a player, and what did you think when you finally saw him? Was he in middle school when you first heard about him, or high school?
Yeah, we always get a heads up on young guys that are tearing up the CYO or the YMCA leagues, the Four Lakes, the whatever. I mean, around the state, different areas. So lacrosse is a big enough area that if you're a pretty good player, you're playing against a lot of other teams in these youth tournaments. We used to run a bunch of them down at Platteville when I was coaching down there, and it was really neat because we got to see all these 6th, 7th, 8th graders. We started recruiting early. Division III, you don't have to worry about the rules as far as contacting or saying anything to them because you don't have any scholarships. So, but yeah, we had heard about Bronson and just kept our eye on him, because you can't really do too much until they get to be juniors or finish their sophomore year.
Jim.
But what's the next step in his development? Where do you want to see him go now that he's got this opportunity?
Well, just continue to lead the team, have people believe in him. All the point guards we've ever had, that's been one of the most important qualities of the position. And, I was always told as a point guard that a lot of what the team does is going to depend on how you handle yourself on the court, how you bring the guys together, so all the things that I was instructed to do, ever since I've been coaching, done the same with the point guards that I've had. And get them to be, they don't have to score a lot. They don't have to be screamers. They don't have to be in-your-face type of guys, but I've had some that have been like that. Toughness of character, guys that don't get too high, too low, guys that can form those little huddles, the mini huddles that we have when the ball goes out of bounds or there's a free throw coming up. Or those are the things you want in a point guard.
There were stretches in practice yesterday where you put 6 guys on the court from the scout team to simulate the press that Iowa will run.
I started doing that in 1972.
How many teams do you do that for in the Big Ten, though? And how does Iowa's pressure compare, I guess?
Well, we didn't have long. Sometimes it's just based on, with Ethan Happ being injured, it was hard the length of some teams, of the Big Ten teams. Your scout team never is exactly like the first team, the first 8 guys of the other school you're playing. So sometimes you just do it to make guys have to be more perceptive. But we've done that before.
Kevin.
What do you see just on tape from Iowa offensively that makes them a threat?
Well, they have depth. They push it. They try to get open looks in transition. So you got to get back. But I think they've done a better job this year of forcing teams to play better half-court defense. They're playing better half-court defense, I think, than they did a year ago. So that's what makes them better. I think they're better than last year. When you talk about names that are back, probably with Trey not being available, I think if you take the minutes that they had back, and people thought we had a lot back coming into the year, I think Iowa's got quite a bit too. If you look at returning minutes. Well, to give you an idea, is after we did the scouting report, I think it was Josh Goss or somebody said, what about McCabe? It seemed it was like, McCabe's still on Iowa's team? So Josh got a good one in. You know, he's a straight-faced guy. I think it was him. I didn't verify it. But somebody said to Coach Close, what about McCabe? It was like, McCabe's graduated. Oh, really? Sometimes they've said that about some of our players, too. He's still there?
One guy you recruited with, Jerry Utoff, how much has he grown from in his time at Iowa that you've seen on the court?
Has he grown 2 inches like Sam? You talking about?
No, game-wise, expanded game.
Well, he's got more minutes. He's got more of a role. Like I told somebody today, it's really neat in our league to have coaches who are teachers who develop play. You know, you look at all the guys across the league, and you say, "Wow, that guy's better. That guy's better. That guy's better." And I think it's just the way it is in our league. The more experience these guys get, the more game time, the better they're getting. We got guys like that. So they're always it's always fun to watch people get better.
Zach Showalter's gone from being kind of the last man out to the last guy in, and but what are your expectations of him in this role? And do you think the fact that he saw time sort of in this situation a couple of years ago is beneficial for him?
Yeah, I don't know what you mean by last guy out.
In the playing, in the playing rotation, he was basically the 9th guy in the 8-man rotation, and now he's moved up a spot to the point that he's getting about 8-9 minutes a game. So I'm just curious what you expect out of him, and do you think that
Just what he's been giving us. Just work hard, take care of the ball, play defense, hit the glass, take charges, energy guy. And don't get cheated. I don't think Zach gets cheated very much. You've heard me use that expression. It just means the guys that are trying to do something on every possession, always active, but not trying to do so much where they get out of position. But Zach's has brought us a lot of energy.
Anything else for Coach? All right.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.